I want to play for you a piece of video that was on television, and it's Piers Morgan, one of the hosts of one of the morning shows here, and his co-host getting very emotional about this topic. And Piers grew up in London for a large portion of his life, and so did his co-host. And you can see how much they care and how frustrated they are about the lack of the performance of our mayor. And it's an important piece to watch. So here's Piers Morgan asking hard questions of our mayor about stabbing in London.
In the last 5 days, 4 people, including 3 young men, have been stabbed to death in your city on your watch. Why is it not fair to say that you are failing in your mission? You're talking about 2 incidents. I've just said to you there have been 4 knife murders in London, in South London, in a particular part of your city in the last 5 days. Not 2, 4, right? And I think that we are entitled, as I've been a Londoner most of my adult life. I've lived in South London, around actually where at least 2 of these stabbings happened. Susanna lives in that area, right? So we feel personally invested in this. We've got 6 sons between us who've walked around those streets. And every parent in South London right now who's had that experience and has children is now frightened. They're frightened of their kids getting caught up in this. And again, I say to you, what are you doing about it? Your Twitter feed has been full in the last few days of keeping Londoners safe is my top priority as mayor. Our new violence reduction unit brings together experts, blah, blah, blah. It's all good words, but if people are getting stabbed on an almost daily basis to death in this city, we expect more from you as the mayor. What are you going to do to stop this carnage?
Knife crime has surged by 16% in the capital. On Thursday, a 15-year-old boy was stabbed. Honestly, I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it without getting upset. Got children the same age, in the same part of London. 15-year-old boy was stabbed to death. Just gone out to buy some chicken. On Friday night, a 17-year-old boy was at a tube station, stabbed to death. My kids are out on Clapham Common that afternoon. How can I possibly say to them, it's safe for you to be out? I can't talk to them about a task force and things are being done. Teenagers cannot go out in that part of London without worrying that they might get hurt. And the evidence is that they really could. What can parents say to their teenagers? We're talking about children, 15 and 17 years old. We're talking about children. We're not talking about adults with weapons. We're talking about children who have died. What arrests have been made in those cases? That's what I want to be able to tell my children. That those people responsible for those deaths are now they're arrested and they're being investigated and they're going to be brought to justice.
But what you're not doing, Mr. Mayor, is you're not stopping the homicides. And this is my problem with it. And I'm afraid it's, we've had you on a number of times and you keep making promises and you keep talking about units and plans and there's this sort of philosophy of stopping this violence.
These are officers.
Yeah, but the problem is that it keeps happening.
And
so clearly, whatever tactics you're deploying, whatever your strategy is, it is demonstrably failing. If 4 people in one part of South London are stabbed to death in 5 days, in the last 5 days, your strategy for tackling knife crime in the capital city is clearly failing. Do you accept that?
No, Piers, well, if you...
And you can see how emotionally charged this issue is. We really want answers when our leadership cannot give solutions to our own teenagers dying on our streets. And I think it's right to ask those hard questions. And, after almost 5 years in office, not to see any results and to actually see it getting worse, it's unacceptable. And it needs to change, and it will change on May 7th or May 6th.